Welcome to the Lindsay Flanagan Injustice Center, where, justice is not for us. And we're here in downtown Denver with, is that the real Jerry Burton?
Yes, I am the real Jerry Burton.
Real Jerry Burton. And we were telling some of our friends this morning on the Eric Brett show about how you, a veteran, have put your life on the line for this country and for this Constitution. As a younger man, you went overseas and you fought in a foreign war, Vietnam, if I remember correctly.
No,
Korea.
I didn't fight in the war. I guess a couple accidents that we had to settle.
Okay, so you served, and you served where your life was on the line.
Yes.
And you've come back into the community, and as a veteran, have had some various struggles in life.
Yes.
And one of those struggles is that you found yourself without fixed permanent structure in the wintertime. And you had your blankets that actually had the military emblem on them taken away from you. And were they thrown away or preserved as evidence?
Well, they were supposed to be preserved as evidence, but right by now, I never really got them back.
You never got them back?
They still either doing jail time or they've been thrown away.
Okay, so you never got your property back from your detention, and you went through this process where you were arrested for surviving on the street.
I wasn't arrested. I was given a citation to appear in court. That's different.
Well, essentially, it is still an arrest.
Wow.
So according to the codes that they have, it's an arrest. So you received a citation. You came to court. You had a trial. You were found guilty of living, and then you went through this process where they didn't originally feel that your public service was acceptable, but they eventually found that it was, because you made a real difference in the community. You make a real difference in our community. And then we went through, we were camping and we were living together off and on, trying to survive in the streets of Denver through the 300 campaign and some things. And you ended up being cited again for living and being a human being without a fixed permanent residence. So we went to court today. And this is a follow-up, a second appearance.
Yes.
Your first appearance was before a magistrate.
Right.
Now you're before a judge. And when you appeared before the magistrate, it is believed that you did not plea.
I don't think I did.
Okay.
Then again, I might have, but either way it go, with the holidays and the way everything was going, I think it should be some days given back to us to where we could play.
So we went to court today, and you were early on the docket, maybe even the first one called. And Barajas, was it? Who was that? Who were you in front of today?
I have no idea. I don't really look at the judge's name, because one judge is they all the same.
Okay. So what happened though was that you appeared with counsel.
Yes.
And this is a pro bono appearance. Is that correct?
Yes.
So instead of being providing your financial information to the public defender's office, where it becomes part of the public record, and we already know they're not doing it correctly anyway. It's a whole nother case that we're fighting. You have a relationship with an attorney who said they would represent you pro bono.
Yes.
And that pro bono appearance today, they said, hey, we want a jury trial. And this judge said, no, you don't get a jury trial. We set your first appearance and your second appearance more than 21 days apart, so that if you didn't come back and take care of those things on your own, then the judges get to rule and the people don't get to rule. And Andy was really, your attorney was really thrown off by this. Like, well, we didn't appear. Your attorney was actually like, I'm here to appear and set a plea. Right? Because, guys, and these things are important, because what we're not learning, what we're learning is that when you show up in front of a court for your first appearance, you must clearly state several things. Does anybody know what the first thing you must say before your first appearance, and you don't have discovery in hand? Mr. Brandt, would you advise us of that?
So this is actually an ongoing problem. By the way, I spoke with the lawyer on this case. His name is Andy McNulty. You'll be able to see him tomorrow at the Supreme Court when he's arguing my jury nullification case. But
Come join Mr. Burton.
He doesn't remember entering a plea.
I don't really remember.
This is a real problem. There's a 21-day timer on this question. And here's what I see happening in Denver a lot. They advise you over here, they release you, you come over here for your arraignment, the court enters a not guilty plea on your behalf. Then you go to the public defender that requires you to prove that you're homeless and indigent by bringing all these extraneous proofs that are expressly excluded by the actual Supreme Court directive. In the meantime, it takes you more than 21 days to get that done. You don't have a lawyer and you don't know about the 21-day timer. The 21-day timer expires and now you have a bench trial. Very cheap, isn't it? So we need to solve this 21-day timer problem, and we need to make the Denver Public Defender's Office just fucking obey.
I think that one of the things we might have to do is start attending daily sessions over there and letting everybody know that they have to do that.
We may need to do that.
We might have to even trade a flyer
needs to
today.
Call Alice Norman's office and tell her to comply.
What is Alice Norman's phone number? Do you know?
I don't know it off the top of my head. She's the head of the Denver Municipal Public Defender's Office.
Okay.
But now in Jerry's case, it's slightly different. In Jerry's case, he has an attorney.
And we covered that part. So,
right. So, but still, this 21-day timer is a real problem. So when I go to court, it's very important to me that if the court enters a plea against my wishes, that I object to it.
yes.
I tell the court that I can't enter a plea until I have an attorney.
Or
and
your
I
discovery.
can't go and consult an attorney unless I can take something with me.
Oh, what is that?
And
Discovery.
so I won't go to do that until I get my discovery.
Right.
Right? The court would like to move these things right along, rush these along, and they're always worried about your speedy trial rights. Fuck my speedy trial rights. That's not what it was intended for. Speedy trial was because people were being whisked away to England and dropped in an oubliette for years or forever. That's not going to happen here. I shouldn't say that.
That's not true, Eric. We are watching unmarked vehicles with unmarked personnel.
I did get whisked away by a bunch of unmarked men the other day.
Yes.
But it's very important to me that the case be done correctly, not so much as quickly. And I say, do you want your case done today or do you want it done forever? Because if you want it done today, it's not going to be done forever.
No, because it'll haunt you forever if you want it done today.
You can't get it done today. You got to take your time. There's procedures and steps, and this process should be slow. If you're short-circuiting justice, don't cry to me when you don't get it.
That's a good quote, guys.
Do cry to me.
You know, right.
But no, seriously, if you're going to short-circuit justice, then you deserve what you get. You asked for it. So it's very important that we raise our awareness and our rights. This jury trial is a big fucking deal. It's a big fucking deal. So your lawyer's going to be looking at the transcript, and because he doesn't recall a plea being entered.
Right, and I told them to go get the audio file. They're really good about recording all this stuff. So
Denver
it's there.
Denver is. I'll give Denver that. People think of Denver as this horrible place, but when you look at the surrounding jurisdictions, as far as court records are concerned, Denver is actually pretty fucking good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jerry, we're hoping that you will have a jury trial, and that we know you have a really good attorney and staff that are gonna protect that right. But let's remind everybody that the jury trial is to determine whether or not you're guilty of being a human being who's alive without adequate infrastructure provided for you with assistance. And this guy over here, we want to. I don't know if you remember Pikes, but Pikes
just watched something. I want to say why it's so important to have a jury trial, because you just witnessed something in the hallway, right? Okay. In this case, if this goes to a bench trial, the judge has to look at the facts of the case and compare it to the law. So if you were in fact doing one of those things against the law, the judge has honestly no legal choice but to find you guilty.
Right. Different responsibilities than a jury.
Jurors have the right to nullify the law.
Exactly. And say it's not even right.
It's certainly a power. And you may remember a few years ago, I made a giant box trap that said Acme Cop Catcher Kit, and I put a donut under it.
Yeah.
And I made them arrest me for sitting down on the ground.
Yes.
You just witnessed something in the hallway. Tell us what you just witnessed in the hallway.
So one of the jurors actually was on that case, walked through the hallways here, and noticed.
Hey, that's the guy right here.
That's the guy.
That's the guy that did
That's
this.
Right. If you have your cannabis on you and your medical marijuana license, you have a right to carry it in the building.
Are you the guy?
Oh wow, he tatted.
Oh, that's the guy that tatted that.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
What did he drop? Oh, look at
Sorry,
that's
history
memorialized.
It's my graphics, but his ink. Yeah.
Okay, so let's stay on point though.
Pikes, this woman comes up to us in the hallway, right?
Yeah.
And she says, "Are you Eric Brandt?"
Oh yeah, she had walked by a couple times, and she definitely knew who you were. She was one of the jurors on the trial there for that particular case, and she said she loved it.
I asked her which case.
You need
and
that.
She says, "I found you not guilty." We found you not guilty. I said, "Was it the cop catcher kid case?" And she said, "Yes, it was."
Okay.
And this is a case where I sat there and I told my jurors, I testified, and I said, "I'm very sorry that you have to be here today,
Right.
but you have to find me guilty." I did it. It was my intentionally designed scheme to do this. And this woman did what I think what a jury would do for Jerry here. She went against the judge's orders, and she ruled with her conscience and found me not guilty.
Right.
The best, most altruistic judge in the world in a bench trial with your case
Has no
based on
option.
my observation has no choice.
No
but to find me
choice.
guilty. But a juror does.
That's right.
And the right to nullify the law is exactly what I was advocating for when I was handing out jury nullification literature here 5 years ago next month.
That's right.
And that's the argument that goes before the Supreme Court tomorrow. And I just found out that the national chapter for the ACLU is going to be arguing for 10 minutes, in addition to my lawyers and the city's lawyers. And I also just found out that the Cato Institute filed an amicus brief.
Very
so
nice.
They're going to send that to me, and I'm going to read it.
Very nice. And this all ties together, and it's very important because one way to get around the abilities of jurors to nullify unjust prosecution is to take away the factor of the jury
That's right.
being present.
Yes,
And
we saw
that's
them
why
do
we're
this
doing
to
this video.
Sasha in Springs last week, right? The jury fee wasn't paid on time. The lawyer admitted his problem. He apologized. Well, this is ineffective assistance of counsel, right?
Right.
Okay, so
It's appealable.
I have an appealable question. It says sucks it has to be on Andy, but it may not be. He doesn't remember a pleading answer. So in Sasha's case, the lawyer admitted that, hey, I'm sorry, I missed it. She's entitled to a jury. She should have it. The judge said no. It proceeded to a bench trial because that damn 21-day timer was missed.
Right.
So she proceeds to a bench trial. She's distraught. But they did. So they made the argument that she would be entitled. So what the prosecution did to cure that appealable question is they took away the possibility of jail time. They said, Your Honor, we're not asking for jail time. She's not entitled to a jury. So one way or another, they weren't going to give her a fucking jury for that case. It was more important to them that they get the conviction.
That's right.
Right?
That's
Why
right.
do they need a conviction in your case?
Why?
So you can't sue them for human rights violation.
Indemnification.
That's why.
Yeah.
Indemnification.
Indemnification.
That's right. In Sasha's case, it was a bullshit arrest. They knew it was a bullshit arrest. They know she's going to sue.
Right.
Right? They can protect themselves. Going to a bench trial is very cheap insurance compared to a civil litigation.
That's right. And so in Jerry's case, that's and with cases of people who don't know and they just want to get it over with. I'm going to serve my time. I'm going to plead guilty. I'm going to get out of here. And now it's on my record. So the next time I get harassed, I have a record. I'm a criminal, and it gives them more justification to tie me up.
And again, I'll close by saying, or at least my part, if you want to short circuit the justice system to get it over with, then you have now become part of the unjust us system, and you're one of the us.
Yes.
So you can avoid unjust us by doing it slow, by taking it easy, by standing up, by seeing it through. This man sees it through.
That's right.
Just ice. Cold as motherfucker, and you get no justice.
So that's it, folks. This is the
police!
Happy Fuck the Cops Day! That's right. Happy Fuck the Cops Day, man. The Constitution is on your side. So, love it. That's a great way to end that video. Thank you guys for joining us. Remember to preserve your jury rights, and stay tuned for more on Jerry Burton, Eric Grant, and the rest of us. Have a great day, everybody.
Standing up for what?
Don't forget to hit that like and share. This is Brian Loma with Cut the Plastic.
Stand up.